Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Malika K. Fowler of Malika International, seeking to make all lives actualize and inspire through kind actions. I am passionate about inspiring change through interconnectedness and taking compassionate actions towards our fellow human beings. Today, I love to talk to you about the conversation that I have given lots of thought to, and I like to talk about a little bit about what it is all about, how we embrace our human differences, and that human differences in our lives is for us to take into consideration and recognize the person we are. And recognizing the person we are basically takes us into many phases of our lives. So let's get started. So here is what I want you to do. So it's like taking into consideration, thinking about the world we live in today, and just recognizing how it's changing so rapidly. Look at our nation. Look at how easily, look at the world. We're easily able to interact with each other. From what? From the tip of our fingers. We can go on the internet through technology. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from. Perhaps in a remote place in the world, no matter whether you're pink, purple, yellow. There is a vast amount of combinations with the different things that happened with all of us interacting with one another. I do want you to think about something here. In this aspect of thinking about the differences about our human element, our human dynamics. Think about why. Why is it so imperative? Why is so important that we recognize the significance of our fellow human beings? Should I say human dynamic? Perhaps. Let's think about this. The human dynamics. Human beings. It is amongst the most important facets of our day-to-day social professional. What is our social professional, spiritual, or whatever amount of place you want to put it into? What matters? People matters. And do you know why people matters? People matters for the fact that we find ourselves day to day always wanting to seek. We always want to seek what? We want to seek for something beyond us. We want to seek a way that we can understand people, because understanding is essential to our being. Because knowing is important, but when you begin to understand people, it is a point in a space where you truly can come to a place where you are able to truly allow yourself to indulge into that humans of humanity and human spirit. We look for ways, lots of times we look for ways to be successful. We don't have to talk about success in any ways of X, Y, Z that has to be this way. Being successful, truly, the first start of being successful is being successful with yourself. How do you get from point A to point B? To convince your mental state, to convince your thoughts, to convince what you feel, because what you feel you put into actions. If you can get to that place and allow your thoughts that leads to your intention, your feelings that leads to attitudes, and your actions leads to your actions. If you can just cross over that place, you are simply looking for ways to do what? To retain your own stability. Because you retaining your own stability makes you a successful and happy person. That's the starting point of it. So then what? What are you looking out there for? You are seeking to also develop a skill in somehow, some sort of ways in which you can formulate yourself in order to formulate your exposure to your fellow human beings. We play a very key role in the overall success of how we retained who we are. In terms of who we are, with the results that we are seeking. But we are also obligated to do what? Perhaps to turn to the people around us. And that's where all of that interconnectedness come into play. Because in order to get from point A to point B, there is a life ladder of success perhaps you have to climb. And you can't do this all by yourself, no matter who you think you are. Because it's an achievement that makes you interconnected. You are interconnected with everything and everyone. You are intertwined in a way. It's on a multitude of so many dimensions that cannot even be named at this given point in time. Think about this. So what happens? What happens? You remember I talked about your thoughts? It's what you're thinking. The most important thing about what you're thinking is what you feel. Because what you feel creates a sense of your attitude. And your attitude play a key role in the ability that you're going to gain some sort of success. That success you're trying to gain. You're putting actions into it. Because you expect something in return. So, having described that humanness, what is it am I talking about? How do you approach this world? And how do you approach your fellow human beings? What are you thinking? What is guiding you? What are you feeling? It is one of the most important things. What are you feeling? Because your feeling takes you into their actions. It becomes an imperative. Your feelings, honestly, no matter what people think, it could be subjective. Our word is ruled by how the way we feel until we can come to some sort of conclusion and simply find true the facts to certain things. It starts with the way we think. It starts with the way we feel and the kinds of actions that we take into. So think about this. That attitude of yours, that attitude of yours then become a significant thing that's imperative. It's imperative. Sometimes it's what it does. It blinds your attitude to a point where your intention, so your thoughts takes you to your intention. Your intention is a desire. That desire to your purpose. For what? You want to do something. You want to be part of this universe. But something is there. Your feelings. Because your feelings is not measurable. It's not defined by any formula. Neither would it ever be an equation to solve, nor it even is a multiplication to multiply. So no one can ever predict any outcomes of nature. No one. Even you take, for example, the meteorologists make mistakes even forecasting what the weather would be. Statistic also. So if you think about this and you want to make that comparison with human beings, when you meet people from a face value and you think that you can come into that place and look at the human element, look at your fellow human beings as you are predicting what should be, you're going to be making a big mistake, because the human dynamic is never can be measured, because again, there's no one size fit all. You have to look at your fellow human beings as the way you want to see yourself. And if you do look at your fellow human beings as the way you want to see yourself, you might just be on the right track to accept folks as the way you wish to be accepted. And sometimes, as I've done a lot of research, it could be a lot of mixed up. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I do want you to take into consideration as I end this topic, is that even though you might feel that you are on this level, you always need to give people a chance to be people. I want to thank you again and have a great day. Goodbye.